I'm here speaking with Joanna from IHG. Joanna, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you for having me.
Oh no, it's so lovely to have you, so lovely to speak with you. IHG has reached a very, very big milestone. It has reached 1 million rooms worldwide. That's massive, congratulations.
Thank you.
So can you just talk to us about what this milestone means for the company, how you got here, and what it signals for the next phase of growth?
It is a big number.
It's a big question.
1 million open rooms around the world. I think when I think of this number, and when I heard the news first, the first sentiment was a sentiment of responsibility. Imagine having 1 million rooms worldwide. Imagine having all those millions of people who are visiting the hotels every day and every night, and the responsibility that we carry as the ones who are franchising the brand. Imagine all the families and all the economies that are actually dependent on those hotels. I wake up and I am thinking somewhere out there in the wild world, there are people who do have their livelihoods depending on this hotel, this room open in a certain location. It's a privilege of responsibility that's possibly the biggest value that I find in this work. And when you ask me about what it means for the future and what it means for the next chapter and whatever the next chapter might be or whatever it is going to be, in my mind, I think of long distance running. When you run long distance, and I don't run very long distances, but long enough to know that it needs a certain level of consistency, a certain level of resilience, stubbornness, but also thoughtfulness about how you sustain your run. And the same for us. Growing another million and another million, it requires thoughtfulness about what you retain from the past and how you adapt to the future. And in my mind, those are two things that I will be focusing on and the company is focusing on, which is with all the tradition, all the history and everything that we have done so far, what do we retain because it's a fundament for the growth of the future, and what we adapt because the world around us is changing.
So it's not a sprint, it's a question about sustainability. Because I run 5Ks as well. It's about the most that I can run, and it's just about you keep going, you keep plugging away, and that sounds like it's such a big responsibility as well. But it's so exciting, so I'm so happy for you. So the UK and Ireland have been a cornerstone of IHG's growth story. You have over 400 hotels in the region. So how would you describe the company's impact and presence here?
You're right. It's our biggest single market outside of the US and Greater China. It's also the market where we have been the longest in Europe. So UK and Ireland has always been a division where obviously we have our global, our European and our UK head office. It's a very special place for the company, and we are listed on the London Stock Exchange. So it has a very meaningful presence for us at IHG, this market and this division. 400 open and pipeline hotels, another sort of milestone in our development. And for me, that means that we remain focused and very thoughtful about how we grow, because we are big. We are the biggest global player here in the market. And yet we continue growing. So we need to be thoughtful about how we grow. And the second element to it is, I want us to stay grounded and relevant. Grounded in the reality of our owners and investors, grounded in the reality of our guests, and relevant to our investors. As you said, it's not a sprint. And staying in this game for a long time, meaning being mindful and thoughtful about how we grow, where we grow, how we operate, how we open hotels, and how we sustain the story that you just described as being one of many milestones and many successes.
Right, no, so this is a time to brag. Can you tell me about any trends or successes that you are particularly proud of that you want to spotlight or highlight?
If you think about the market and if you think of what we have achieved here, every single year we grow faster and more than the year before. We have those 400 hotels that are open in the pipeline. We operate 11 brands in the country, and we keep adding hotels. We have launched brands like Garner, like Voco a few years ago. We have integrated Ruby into our estate. We are going to open our first Six Senses in London. Very much looking forward to this hotel. We have the Indigo brand growing all over the country, and many, many other places and many, many other moments of pride for us as a division. The greatest joy is actually to see that the way we conduct business resonates with the market, resonates with our investors, and resonates with our colleagues. And think about where we are. We are at the event with however many hundreds of people in the room, knowing that we walk into this room, we have a stand, and I can proudly represent the company because I know that we have a reputation of delivering on our promise to the owners. That is a great joy, privilege, and responsibility that I am proudly carrying.
And you know what, that leads on nicely to my next question, because you mentioned the responsibility to your colleagues, to the owners, to the guests, to the people. And so how does this owner-centric model, this focus on the owner, work in practice? And how has it helped you consistently deliver in the region?
Very practically. That's one of the things I'm quite famous for within my team. Quite bluntly, you just need to get your priorities right. And the first and foremost, the priority shall be whatever we do and whatever we communicate, whatever we spend our time on needs to be owner-centric or guest-centric or end guest-centric. Whoever it is, wherever you sit in the organization, whichever function you're representing, the purpose of us being here is to deliver to our guests and to our owners. And having this message trickle down throughout the organization, not only for the colleagues who, like myself, are representing the organization in front of the owners every day, so that's natural for me that I will be owner-centric. But there are plenty of colleagues who are sitting with us in the head office, and they are not having this face-to-face contact the way we are having it today. So having this culture of reminding everyone and reminding oneself that we are here because we are delivering value to our investors and to our guests. That comes with thoughtful development, that comes with focus on operation, that comes with humility of admitting when we are not doing things maybe the way we should, or we are not adding value to the largest extent yet. And if I think of humility, I like talking about pride and humility in one sentence. I think that those two are really two sides of the same coin. I am proud of what we are delivering. There is a lot, as you said, it's time to brag. There is a lot we can be proud of. We are having the system that, especially in this market, keeps delivering and keeps building the enterprise that we have developed over the past 70 years. And at the same time, there's a lot of humility in me to admit there are things that we could, should, will do differently or will do better. And having this honesty about the relationships that we build, that I think is a definition of what owner-centric means.
So you are learning lessons from your actions as well and taking responsibility for when things need to change. So that's good, that's a positive. But looking outside of IHG to other companies in the sector, are there any lessons from IHG's approach, again, more bragging, that the industry could learn from?
Whether it's our industry or any other industry, quite frankly. So, whenever I speak to colleagues who are outside of IHG, or whether I speak to my family and they work in very different industries, for me, the key word that I learned over 20 years in sort of my working career that defines how I approach things and I think helped us and helped me lead the division in a certain way is an ability to constantly learn. And it's not only about learning when someone is serving you knowledge, it's also seeing those opportunities for learning when no one is actually telling you, this is a moment to learn. So even here today, or even in a conversation with you, any interaction that I'm having, I'm trying to make sure that I approach it with, what am I going to learn today? And how am I going to remember what I have said, what someone else said, what I heard, what I read, and bring something out of it to my day-to-day.
That's lovely, thank you. And from the outside, IHG has, a stellar and outstanding reputation. I mean, even just this conversation, I'm enjoying it so much, and it's clear that you have this, this people-centric kind of you make people feel seen, and you have a great reputation as well. But what do you think sets your team apart, and how has that combination of making people feel seen and the brands that you have helped you achieve the successes that we are seeing today?
Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. It's incredible that you use the word reputation. And if I think of, we talked about the change and adaptability and what we retain, what we change in the future. The only constant in all this is actually reputation. The reputation that we build day in, day out, interaction after interaction. The way I approach it and the way that's very close to my heart is making sure that when we lead by helping the teams unify themselves behind the purpose and then allowing different ways of getting to this purpose. And that combination of, on one hand, providing clarity and unity of what we are here to deliver, on the other hand, allowing the versatility of the ways people get to deliver what we are asking them to bring to the table, that is a definition of great leadership. So it's not that much about looking at each other, it's more into looking into the same direction together.
And finding that passion, I guess, to create this success. Because when you're passionate about something, then you're very, very committed to making it work and to, building the amazing reputation.
Absolutely.
But anyway, it was really, really great to talk to you. Really enjoyed it. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Oh, I was going to, okay.